His laughter was still echoing when the door closed. It wasn't loud, it wasn't mocking, it was worse, short, economical, like someone laughing at something they'd already decided to forget. I stood frozen in the middle of the empty living room, gripping the strap of my bag hard enough to hurt. The light flickered, the fan groaned, the smell of old coffee rose from the kitchen. That was when I understood it wasn't the end of the marriage. It was confirmation of something he had always known, and I had always pretended not to see. "You can't keep up anymore," he said, adjusting the expensive watch on his wrist. "It's not your fault, it's just a difference in rhythm." Difference in rhythm. The words hung in the air like a crooked picture frame. I thought about the bills, the refrigerator that made noise at night, my worn shoes, the broken elevator in the building. I thought about the dress I didn't buy for his company party because it wasn't worth it. I thought about the silence I swallowed when I heard the word he never said but was right there. Poor. He laughed when I asked if that was really it, a laugh like someone brushing away a minor inconvenience. "Look at you," he said, and the sentence cut sharper than any shout. I did look. At my hands, my unpolished nails, skin marked by cheap soap. At my reflection in the hallway mirror, split by an old crack. I saw the woman I was before marrying him, and the woman I became trying to keep up with him. I didn't cry. Not there. The tears stayed trapped behind my eyes, waiting. The divorce papers were signed quickly. He already had a lawyer. I had a borrowed pen. When it was over, he wished me good luck, the way you wish it to a stranger. The elevator ride down felt too slow. Each floor stripped something from me, the last name, the address, the promise. When the doors opened, the street was wet from recent rain. The asphalt reflected yellow lights. A bus passed, coughing smoke. I breathed in and walked. I moved. Into a tiny apartment I rented in a hurry, in a neighborhood where noise never sleeps. First night alone, mattress on the floor, one open suitcase, a window that wouldn't close properly. Upstairs, furniture scraped. Downstairs, someone sang off-key. I ate dry bread and drank tap water. I laughed to myself, a crooked laugh, thinking that was rock bottom. It wasn't. Over the next days, humiliation came in small, persistent waves. His message telling me to pick up what was left. The cashier's look when my card was declined. The call from the landlord asking for a deposit. I walked through the city feeling like everyone knew, as if the word poor were written on my forehead in letters only others could see. On the third day, my younger sister called, asked if I was okay. I said yes, automatically. She didn't believe me. She never believes automatic answers. "Where are you?" she asked. I told her the neighborhood. Silence on the other end. Not empty. Calculating. "Stay there," she said. "We're coming." We. I hung up without fully understanding. We had always been an elastic concept in my family. We grew up sharing rooms, food, clothes. We grew up hearing the world owed no one anything. We grew up learning to arrive together. I hadn't asked for help. Out of shame, pride, exhaustion, still they came. When my siblings arrived, it was already night. The street was louder. A car stopped in front of the building. Then another. Then one more. I went down the stairs with my heart racing. The door creaked open. Streetlight cast long shadows on the ground. My oldest brother stepped out first. Simple suit, straight posture, the kind of presence that never needs to raise its voice. Behind him, the middle one, easy smile, eyes too alert. Last, my sister, low heels, hair tied back, phone in hand like an extension of her body. They looked at me as if checking whether I was intact. I was, thinner, harder, intact. "He laughed at you?" my brother asked without ceremony. I nodded. The word laughed felt too small for what it had done. He didn't answer right away, just breathed deeply, like he used to before stepping into someone else's fight. "Then," he said, "we'll handle this our way." I didn't yet know what our way meant now. We weren't kids fighting at the school gate anymore. Each of them had a life that worked, a solid path. I was the one who'd fallen behind, the one who bet everything on the wrong love, the poor one in his eyes. We went upstairs. They looked around without comments. The mattress on the floor, the open suitcase, the broken window. My sister went to the kitchen, turned on the tap, tested the pressure. The middle brother sat on the floor beside me. The oldest stood by the wall, guarding the door. "You did nothing wrong," he said at last. "Nothing." The words hit hard. I swallowed. The light flickered again. Outside, a siren cut through the air. The world kept going, and for the first time since his laughter, I felt something other than shame. A strange calm, a silent promise. I didn't yet know how or when, but I knew that laugh would not go unanswered, and that the poverty he used as a weapon would say far more about him than about me. Morning arrived without asking permission. The garbage truck's noise pulled me from shallow sleep, and for a few seconds I didn't know where I was. The mattress on the floor brought memory back too fast. The open suitcase, the stuck window. My siblings scattered through the small apartment like they'd always belonged there. The smell of fresh coffee drew me to the kitchen. My sister stood with her back to me, stirring with almost surgical precision. Her phone vibrated on the table, ignored. Sunlight slipped in crooked, hitting old tiles. My oldest brother read something on his tablet, serious. The middle one leaned against the counter, watching everything like someone measuring distances. "Did you sleep?" my sister asked without turning. "I did," I answered. Not a lie, just not the whole truth. We sat at the improvised table. 3 chairs, 1 upside-down crate, coffee too strong. They didn't ask for details. They didn't need to. My family always worked like this. First fix things, then talk. Sometimes we don't even talk. "He asked you to pick up your things?" the middle one asked. "He sent a message," I said. "Said he boxed up what's yours." My oldest brother looked up slowly. The silence that followed wasn't awkward. It was heavy. "Where?" he asked. "At his office this afternoon." My sister finally turned around. Her look was the same she had whenever someone underestimated us as kids. Cold focus. "Then we're going," she said. "You don't have to," I started reflexively. "We do," the oldest cut in calmly. "Not to get things, to close a cycle." I knew that tone. It came before decisions that didn't reverse. My stomach tightened. Part of me wanted to disappear. Another part wanted to watch. We left after lunch. The sky was too clear for how I felt. Traffic louder than usual. Inside the car, no one spoke, the radio off. The middle brother drove calmly, steady hands. I watched the city pass, familiar and unfamiliar buildings, thinking how my life had shrunk and suddenly seemed to expand again. Not in money, in presence. The office building was glass and concrete, the kind that promises success at the entrance. Uniformed doorman, air conditioning too cold. My shoulders stiffened. My reflection in the lobby mirror showed a version of me I didn't fully recognize. Paler, thinner, but with something new in my eyes. Determination, anger. Maybe both. We went up. The corridor smelled of recent cleaning. Carpet muffling footsteps. The secretary looked up, surprised but careful. "Is he in?" I asked. She hesitated, looked at my siblings, at me. "He's in a meeting." "Tell him I'm here," I said. My voice came out steady. "I don't know from where." She called, murmured my name, the last name I no longer used. Hung up. "He asked you to wait." Wait was a word I knew well. I'd waited for promotions that never came, for promised trips, for respect. But that day, I didn't wait alone. My siblings stood on either side of me, drawing an invisible line. He came out a few minutes later, stopped when he saw us. His automatic smile didn't form. His eyes skimmed over me too quickly and settled on my brother's. The laugh he saved for uncomfortable moments didn't appear. "I didn't know that," he began. "Now you do," my oldest said, extending his hand, not to shake, to stop him. Silence spread through the hallway. People passed, pretending not to see. He cleared his throat. "Her things are there," he said, pointing to a box by the door. "I separated them." The box was smaller than I expected, smaller than the life I'd left behind. I approached, opened it. Some clothes, a book, a picture frame face down. I picked it up. The photo was old, me smiling, before I learned to shrink. "That's all?" I asked. He shrugged. "The rest got left along the way." The middle brother smiled, brief. "Funny," he said. "A path is usually something you build, not something you discard." My ex-husband took a breath, looked around, searching for witnesses. There were none, just the four of us and the echo of poor choices. "I didn't mean to offend," he said finally. "I was just being honest." "Honesty without respect is just cruelty," my sister replied, slipping her phone into her pocket. I closed the box. It was too light for so much history. "I'm not here to fight," I said. "I came to get what's mine. And to remind you," my oldest added, stepping closer, "that no laugh defines value." His face shifted, something between irritation and discomfort. He nodded. "Good luck," he said again. This time it didn't hurt, because I knew Luck had just parked outside. In the elevator, the mirror returned 4 aligned reflections. Me in the center. I breathed deeply. When the doors opened, the air felt warmer, more alive. We walked to the car. No one spoke until we were inside. "Is it over?" I asked. The middle brother started the engine. "No," he said. "It's beginning." I looked out the window. The city went on, indifferent. But something had changed. His laugh no longer echoed alone, and for the first time since signing those papers, I felt I wasn't on the ground anymore. I was standing. I went back to the apartment alone that night. My siblings insisted on staying, but I asked for space, not out of ingratitude, necessity. I needed to hear my own footsteps, test the silence, understand who I was when no one was holding me up. The neighborhood was awake, the bar across the street with the TV loud, laughter bursting into the air, a dog barking without conviction. I climbed the stairs slowly. Each step creaked as if complaining about my weight, and I almost laughed. I opened the door. The light still flickered. I didn't change it. Not yet. I set the box on the floor, took the things out one by one, clothes that no longer fit. Not my body, my story, the book with an old dedication, the picture frame. I leaned it against the wall, facing me. That woman smiled like she didn't know what was coming. I touched the glass. "You weren't wrong," I whispered. My phone vibrated. A message from him, short, cold. "Hope you're well. Don't take it personally." I stared at the screen for a few seconds. Personal was all that existed between two people who'd shared a life. I deleted the message, no reply. A small gesture, but decisive, like closing a door without slamming it. The next morning, I woke before the street noise. The sky was grey, heavy with rain that didn't fall. I made weak coffee, sat on the floor back against the wall. I thought about what I had, what I'd lost, and, above all, what I never had in that marriage, a voice. I called an old colleague, asked for a referral, scheduled an interview, updated my resume on a borrowed laptop. Each action was simple, almost banal, but inside me something rearranged itself. It wasn't revenge, it was reclamation. That afternoon, my siblings stopped by briefly, left groceries, a quick fix on the window, a new light bulb. "It's not charity," my oldest said, reading my look. "It's investment." I smiled, a full smile. They left before evening. I was alone again, this time different. The light no longer flickered. That night, I dreamed I was walking across a long bridge. On the other side, there was no palace, no applause, just solid ground. I woke with a rare sense of rest. I didn't yet know how my story would be told out there, but for the first time I knew exactly how it sounded inside. A few weeks later, I ran into my ex-husband by chance. Not in an office, not on controlled ground. It was on the street, late afternoon. Light rain, unapologetic. He stepped out of an expensive car, distracted, laughing at something on the phone. I was coming from the other side, cheap umbrella, steady steps, a calm heart. Our eyes met at the same time. His laughter died. Halfway. He ended the call too quickly, like putting out a small but visible fire. "Hi," he said. "Hi," I answered. The silence that followed didn't crush me, didn't shrink me. It was simply space between two people who shared nothing anymore. He looked at me with delayed attention, as if only now truly seeing me, not the wife who tried to keep up, not the woman who fell behind. Me. "You! Look well," he said, choosing words, trying to find control in them. "I am," I said, and felt the weight of the sentence settle in my chest. Firm, true. He nodded. His eyes swept quickly over my simple coat, my worn umbrella, as if searching for signs of defeat. He didn't find them. The laugh didn't come. It never would. "I'm glad," he added, unconvinced even himself. I smiled, not out of politeness, out of release. Because in that instant, I understood something with painful clarity. I wanted nothing from him anymore, not an apology, not recognition, not regret. He no longer had access to me. "Good luck," he said again, repeating the empty ritual. This time I stepped closer, not to confront, to end it. "I don't need luck anymore," I said quietly, fully. "I have myself." His eyes faltered. Just a second. But I saw it, and it was enough. I turned before he could answer, before he could try to recover some old superiority. The rain suddenly grew heavier, soaking my hair, my clothes, my face. I didn't run, I walked. Each step marked the ground like a new agreement with myself. I entered. A small cafe, almost hidden between buildings, smell of warm bread, fogged windows. I ordered the simplest coffee on the menu, sat by the window, watched people pass, each carrying their own invisible battles. I held the cup with both hands. The warmth rose slowly. I thought about his laughter, how that sound tried to reduce me, how it almost succeeded. I thought about my siblings, their solid silence, the way they arrived without needing explanations. I thought about the woman in the old photo, smiling without knowing. I thought about the woman I was now. I didn't get rich, I didn't win in the way the world applauds. But I survived without breaking, rebuilt without hardening, learned to walk without asking permission. When I finished the coffee, the rain had stopped. The air was clean, washed. I stepped outside and took a deep breath. My chest ached slightly, not from sadness, but from new space opening inside. His laughter stayed behind. In that empty room that would never be mine, again, and I walked forward, knowing, with a certainty no one could take from me, that I was never poor. I was just in the wrong place,